Should Ogerpon-Wellspring be banned? That is the real question. This video is going to show you why it should. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're in a battle versus Lionel from the Discord server in the OU tier. They've got a pretty powerful looking team. I see the Jolteon, which is a fast threat. The Landorus is obviously a threat. Quackable, we can't let that thing set up, otherwise it will completely do us over. We do have the Yanmega though, which I think Yanmega might do some work here. If we get a few speed boosts up and a throat spray off, we'll actually be golden. We just need to get that Clodsire out of the way and weaken the Screamtail first, pretty much. So I'm going to lead off with Ninetales, get the screens up. I think they lead off with Clodsire or Screamtail or the Landorus. They could lead off with the Jolteon as well, but if they do, we'll just go straight into Iron Tread. So let's go ahead and lead with Ninetales and go from there. And the battle begins, so Lionel's going to lead off with Screamtail, which we did kind of expect as we lead off with Ninetales. So Ninetales does get outsped by the Screamtail, and that's definitely something to watch out for. They probably go for their own screens here, so I'm just going to go straight for the Aurora Veil. They might go for a taunt, I don't know. They go for the light screen, so light screen comes through, which is absolutely fine by me. We can deal with that, no problem. Aurora Veil now comes through, and then we can like encore them into whatever they go for next. So, which will give us a free switch in something else. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to go for the encore them into, I'm assuming Reflect is coming next. Yeah, there's the Reflect, so Reflect comes through next. We're now going to encore that into them so they can't do any more shenanigans like Thunder Waving us or Wish Passing or anything like that. So Screamtail is going to get encored, and now we simply just switch out. So they probably switch themselves. I would say if they expect us to switch into Iron Treads, for example, they will probably switch into the Landorus or the Quackable. So I might go into Slowking. I think Slowking's probably a good shout, and then we can Chilly Reception on out of there. Yeah, I think Slowking's a good shout. So I'm going to go Slowking. They do withdraw the Screamtail as expected because they're encored into Reflect. And I hope they don't go Landorus. They go Corviknight. So Corviknight's coming through right now. This thing, if they defog, it'll get rid of the screens they've set up. So I'm not too bothered if they do. So we'll go into Drip Queen real quick. There we go. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. Let's go for a Chilly Reception and get on out of there. There is no reason not to go for a Chilly Reception, to be honest with you. Future Sight might have been nice, but, you know, it's whatever. So they go for a U-turn, which is fair enough. They're not going to defog away our screens, which is great. As that would no, in fact, it wouldn't. If they defogged it, just get rid of our screens. It doesn't get rid of your screens. So, anyway, Clodsire comes in. This thing can obviously take any hit that we want to throw at it if we want to go for a Psychic or whatever. And we tell a chillingly bad joke, which is going to fail. It's going to say it fails, but it's still going to switch us out. So Drip Queen's going to come back to me on the Clodsire switch, and we're going to be able to get into a good position here. So I'm leaning towards Elon Tusk, the Iron Treads, but they basically definitely 100% go into Corviknight if they do that. But it could be a good opportunity to get a Stealth Rock up. So I think I am going to go into the Iron Treads here. They can't touch us because their only attacking move is probably Earthquake. And even if they like Liquidation or something, I doubt there'd be Liquidation on the Clodsire, that's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Stealth Rocks up now. I think that's going to be important. So Stealth Rocks are up. That's going to hurt the Corviknight if they bring it back in. Looks like they've stayed in, though, which is interesting. And they've decided to go for a Yawn. So Yawning the Iron Treads is not a bad play by my opponent by any means. The snow is going to stop. And they're probably thinking, right, they're going to switch out here. They don't want to get Yawned. They're probably going to go back out into something like the Ninetales to get the snow back up. So let's go for a Toxic. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think they go into Corviknight here if we're going to switch out. So I think I could go for an Earthquake pretty safely. So let's go for it. Let's just try it. So there we go. Yeah, just as I thought. They're going to stay in, assuming we're going to switch out. Earthquake does half to the Clodsire as they get a Toxic Spikes up. And now Iron Treads is going to get put to sleep. So unfortunately, Iron Treads is asleep, like I said. But at the same time, it's not that bad because Clodsire cannot touch us at all. So I am very capable of just burning off some sleep turns right now. So I'm going to burn off a sleep turn by going for the Rapid Spin. And then we'll just see what they do. They do withdraw the Clodsire. What are they going to go into, though? The Quackable, probably, I would guess. Jolteon comes in. So Jolteon's an interesting one. So if I wake up here and go for Earthquake, I'm not going to wake up because it's first turn sleep. You always get one turn guaranteed sleep. But I don't want them Toxic Spikes on our side of the field. Do I have a Poison type? I do have the Slowking. So Slowking is a good switch here because we can get rid of the Toxic Spikes, but also we can wall the ever-loving crud out of this Jolteon. So I think I am going to go into Slowking real quick, because they might go for a Calm Mind here. They might start setting up with the Jolteon, which is fair enough if they do that. So we're going to go into Drip Queen real quick. There we go. And I know even after a Calm Mind, we can take any hit this Jolteon wants to throw at us. So they go for a Shadow Ball, expecting the switch, slash just to get some chip damage off on the Iron Treads. Does nothing, obviously, but it does lower our special defense, which is a real shame. So that is unfortunate. So there we go. We're going to get some Leftovers recovery because we're Leftovers, not Black Sludge. And the reason I'm running Leftovers over Black Sludge is because if I want to Terra, I don't want to lose my Terra. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Chili... no, I go for a Future Sight here? I go for a Future Sight here for sure. They go for a Volt Switch, probably into the Corviknight if I had to guess. That did a lot of damage. That did a lot of damage. Now they're probably going to go into the Landorus, but if they do, we'll just hard switch into our Ninetales, get the Snow, get the defense boost, and then go from there. In comes the Corviknight. So Corviknight is a fine switch. Corviknight is a fine switch. We're going to go for the Future Sight real quick just to set that up. And then we'll Chilly Reception out into something that can threaten out this Corviknight so that we can hit something else on their team with a Future Sight. So they are going to go for a Defog now. They're going to get rid of the Stealth Rock. Since the screens are no longer up, they may as well. As obviously, we're going to go for a Chilly Reception here. Get that Regenerator boost back into our health. And then we'll also get out of there while making it snow. Pretty awesome move. I've got to say, Chilly Reception Slowking is awesome. So there we go. Withdrawing Slowking. We can go into whatever we want to take out this Corviknight. Now, I'm leaning towards Mega because we're Terra-Fire, but I don't want to do that just yet. I'm also leaning towards the Ninetales to get the Aurora Veil up, but again, they can just defog us away. I'm thinking Ogerpon's not doing too much this game. So Ogerpon might be a good shout. I feel like they're going to be Water Absorb quite a Clodsire, because otherwise Walking Wake. But then again, it really depends. It depends, because depends what he's built the team around, really. So let's go ahead and switch out. Gonna bring in Jangles, the Como. I feel like Como is a good position for us to be in. We can go for a Flamethrower, which will do a lot of damage. We can go for the Clangorous Soul. We can do all that stuff. I'm going to go straight for the Flamethrower here. They do stay in to take said Flamethrower, and they take it fairly well, to be fair, as they now go for a Brave Bird, which is going to do a lot. And the Recoil as well, adding up. It's not looking good for them. So they're going to now take a Future Sight attack, which is going to finish them off. Future Sight coming through. Galarian Slowking's Future Sight is amazing. Future Sight is one of the moves where, like, in earlier generations, it was pretty useless, and then they buffed it in power. I can't remember what generation it was, but they buffed it, and it's now amazing. In comes the Jolteon. So Jolteon is a threat. We know this. We've seen this. But all we have to do is go into the Iron Treads right now, which is exactly what I'm going to do. We can get the Stealth Rocks up back again, and that's what I'm trying to go for. So they wouldn't go for a Shadow Ball on a Como, because I could easily have Bulletproof as an ability, which blocks all like Shadow Ball and stuff like that, Sludge Bomb, etc. So I think they go for a Thunderbolt here, or they go for a Shadow Ball. I could have been Bulletproof. Could have been Bulletproof. So that does a decent chunk of damage to us and lowers our special defense, which is a real shame. Was it a crit? No, it wasn't. It's just damage. Pure damage. So, I don't want to lose my Iron Treads just yet, so I'm leaning towards a switch into the Slowbro. I think Slowbro is a good switch, so I'm going to have to do it, because the Iron Treads, I can't let Iron Treads go down just yet. It's going to be important for taking out that Clodsire, that's for sure. So we'll go into Drip Queen real quick. There we go. Nice and shiny, gotta love it, as they go for another Shadow Ball, which is going to do a little bit of damage. A lot of damage. Why is it doing so much damage? I mean, I know I'm a Slowking and everything, but wow. Okay, so either way, we're not too bad. So what I want to do here is, I've got a couple of options. I can set up another Future Sight, which would be good, and then hard switch out, or I can go for a Slack Off and get rid of the Snow. I feel like going for a Future Sight is going to be important, so they go for a Volt Switch, which is going to sting a bit. It's going to sting a bit, but the Life Orb recoil damage is racking up on that Jolteon. So the Jolteon's going to switch out with a Volt Switch. What are they going to go into to take on my Slowking? Probably the Landorus. I'd say Quacklevolt so they can try and get an Aqua Step off. But Screamtail comes in. So Screamtail is in. We can go for a Future Sight here, which is great. And I'm hoping the Snow wears off this turn so that we can now go into our Ninetales. There we go. Snow is going to stop, which is great for us because it means we can set up the Snow, have a fresh few turns of Snow for the Ninetales to set up the Aurora Veil. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go for that Chilly Reception. Hopefully they don't Encore us. They don't. They go for a Light Screen. which is fair enough. That's going to be great for them. We go ahead and tell a chillingly bad joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Your mum. There we go. There's my chillingly bad joke. So we're going to go ahead and switch out the Slowking, and we're going to go into something to take on this Screamtail. So I'm leaning towards the Ninetales, so we can go for an Aurora. I'm also leaning towards something else in the Ogerpon. Ogerpon doesn't outspeed though, that's the problem. So we'll go into Ninetales. We'll go into Ninetales. There we go. Looking great. We'll go for that Aurora Veil real quick. They go for a Flamethrower, which is going to sting a bit. It's going to sting a bit, but we get the Aurora Veil up, which is great for us. Like so. And now, hopefully, they only get the light screen up. So they're going to take the Future Sight attack, which is good. Does nothing because it's resisted. And now we go for an Encore and just block them into whatever they go for next. They go for a Flamethrower, which is great. So, Flamethrower bounces off Ninetales, obviously. We go for an Encore. Now we have a free switch in with whatever we want. So, I'm leaning towards one of my physical attackers because they haven't got the Reflect up, which is great. So, I'm going to go the Ogerpon route. So, that's pretty much my game plan. So they are going to withdraw Screamtail. What are they going to go into, though? The Jolteon, maybe. Donald comes in. Who's Donald? That's going to be the Quackable, right? Yeah, Donald Duck, the Quackable. So we switch out our Alolan Ninetales. We're going to go into our nice and powerful Ogerpon. Ogerpon can definitely take a close combat from this thing. I'm thinking, like, I want to go for a Horn Leech, but they're probably going to Tera, right? So I think I am going to Horn Leech anyway. They might expect us to switch out, to be honest with you. They're going to withdraw Donald this turn. What are they going to go into to take a Horn Leech, though? The Screamtail, the Clodsire. So Clodsire comes in, probably trying to take a Grass-type move like it's a champ, and it probably will take it, to be fair. Horn Leech is doing a lot of damage, though, so that's great. The snow is going to stop, but the Aurora Veil is still up. They're going to get some health back from their Black Sludge. I'm guessing that means that they won't be terroring the Clodsire. So I'm going to go for another Horn Leech. Ogerpon kind of wrecks their team now, so we go for a Horn Leech once again. Ogerpon's coming through once again. Clodsire goes down once again. So now all we need to do is weaken the Screamtail and get rid of that light screen. That's pretty much what we need to do. So Jolteon comes in. This thing is a threat to my Ogerpon, that's for sure. Do we have a switch in? Not really. Not the best switching in the world. I don't think Jangles is doing anything this game, so I might just sack it off to whatever they decide to go for. If they go for a Volt Switch, that's fine. We can probably live a Volt Switch under Aurora Veil, to be fair. It is resisted after all, so we'll go into Como. They go for the Volt Switch, which is, of course, going to do bounce right off us. Our Shining Armor just bounces electricity off of it. So, Jolteon's going to go back. And what are they going to bring in to take on Como? Probably the Screamtail to set up a Reflect and then a Dazzling Gleam, if I had to guess. So, Simba of the Distant Past. That's the Landorus Therian. So, Therian comes in. We're going to go for a Clanging Scales right now, just because I have a feeling we're going to outspeed. We don't know, as the Earthquake is going to take out Como. So that's fine. Como can go down. Now we have a decent little advantage. So Screamtail is at full HP, so I don't think it's time to bring Yanmega in just yet. I would like to bring Yanmega in, but I think it's time for Alolan Ninetales to come in and do some work. Or it can be the time for the Ogerpon again. So Ogerpon's a good one because they have no switch-ins. And I'm hoping they sack off Screamtail. Because if they sack off Screamtail, then Yanmega can plow through the rest of their team. So I'm going to go for the Ivy Cudgel. Just to get some damage off on the Landorus if we can. And also hopefully to hit a Screamtail that comes in. They do withdraw. What are they going to go into? Probably the Screamtail, right? I'd say Screamtail. No, Jolteon comes in. Okay. Jolteon comes in. Probably the biggest threat to my Ogerpon is just about to go down. And down it goes. So Ogerpon's putting in the work this game. This might not be a Yanmega video. This might have to be an Ogerpon video. Once again, Wellspring Ogerpon, ladies and gentlemen, is a beast. In comes Donald the Duck. Now, they might be thinking... I don't know what they're thinking. I think they're going to Tera. I think that's for sure they're going to Tera. So maybe Ivy Cudgel is the best move to go for. If we assume they're going to Tera here, then we should go for the Ivy Cudgel. Because they might Tera Electric. And if they Tera Electric, they're going to get that Moxie boost because they're going to go for a Tera Blast. Let's go for the Ivy Cudgel, expecting the Tera. They do Tera. They do Tera, which is great. Now, are we going to see Tera Electric? That's what I'm kind of expecting here. Terastal. So Terastal is a good one. Definitely helps them against the Horn Leech from my Ogerpon, which is fair enough. But We go for the Ivy Cudgel, expecting the Tera like a champ, and we do a hell of a lot of damage. As they go for a Swords Dance, expecting a Horn Leech. I'm afraid it's just not going to happen like that, I'm afraid. So Ogerpon can now come through, go for another Ivy Cudgel, take out this Quackable, and I am so proud of Ogerpon right now. I think we made a really good play there, predicting the Tera. I think we made a really good play. So Yanmega isn't unfortunately going to get to do anything in this game, but it really depends. Like, this could still go wrong. This could still go wrong. Landorus just needs to come in and intimidate, but they bring the Screamtail in anyway. Screamtail can definitely take an Ivy Cudgel, that's for sure. Unless we Tera. Let's Tera. Let's go all out on Ogerpon. Let's go all out on Ogerpon. So we're going to Terastallize into a Water type. We're going to get a Special Defense boost, which is going to allow us to take Dazzling Gleams and Flamethrowers that much better. There we go. Tera Water. And then we're going to get our Embody Aspect, which is going to boost our Special Defense, I believe. Yes, Special Defense is going to be boosted. They go for a Reflect. That's going to nullify the power of our Ivy Cudgel, which is fair enough. We go for said Ivy Cudgel. And that's going to be some nice damage. Ooh, he ate it. He ate it. So now I'm thinking Swords Dance. I'm thinking Swords Dance. So they go for a Psy Shock, which is going to do damage on the physical side. Not enough damage, though. As we go for a Swords Dance now. That's going to boost our attack to sky-high levels right now. So let's go for another Ivy Cudgel and see if it gets the KO. So they go for another Psy Shock. They're just trying to get this Ogerpon out of the way, really. And if the Landorus is Scarf, they can go for an Earthquake and finish us off. But I'm going to go for the +2 Ivy Cudgel now. So Ogerpon comes through. Plop, down goes the Screamtail, which is great. So Screamtail's out of the way. Ogerpon's putting in the work right now. Should Ogerpon be banned? That's the real question. Should Ogerpon be banned? Because it's very overpowering. That's for sure. So Landorus comes in, takes us from +2 to +1 attack with its Intimidate ability. We go for the Ivy Cudgel real quick. And there we go. Ivy Cudgel comes through. They're not Scarfed. We're easily going to take out this Landorus with Ogerpon. As down it goes. So pretty good game. It was actually a pretty long game. I mean, we've got 3 minutes left on the timer. So GG Lionel, that was a pretty fun one. I enjoyed that one thoroughly. Ogerpon got to shine. Should Ogerpon be banned? That's the real question. Let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, here is the team. If you want to try it out, use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.